What's up guys, how y'all doing? I go by the name of by.design. Welcome to my channel. This is the first installment of my new ongoing series that I want to do here on this channel every last day of the month, and it's called Vinylty Fair. The concept of the show is pretty simple. I just go through my vinyl haul for that month. I'm gonna show you all of the records that I got, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about them, why I got them, what my favorite track is on there, and just in general what is on there, right? So to give you some background why I'm doing this show, I've always been very passionate about music. Music has always been such a big part of my life. And about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a very rare and aggressive type of cancer. And after going through multiple surgeries and chemotherapy and radiation therapy, I now have lost about 70% of my hearing capability. And also those numbers are just getting lower and lower with time. It is especially a side effect of the chemo medication that I've gotten, and my doctors even told me that some patients even go completely deaf after receiving the treatment. So I started investing in a lot of very fancy audio equipment to still have like some level of quality when it comes to enjoying music. And again, I found ways to kind of make it work, but at least for me, I personally found out that listening music through vinyl, because the production quality is just so different, at least for me now, is basically the best way to actually enjoy music. I got a pretty solid record player and some good audio equipment for it, and that basically did the trick for me, right? And based off of that, I just started to become very invested in vinyl records, right? So over the last, I would say 1.5 years, I started a collection, which is, again, still constantly growing, almost every month now. And I basically just wanted to share my love for music, right? My passion for music. Music has helped me through so much in my life, and I know there are a lot of people out there who feel the same, right? And I hope that through this show maybe I can introduce a lot of people to some new music that they might enjoy. And so I thought, I just started this YouTube channel, right? And I'm doing it anyway, so why not make content about vinyl records, right? And the vinyl record that I got. So the first haul that I'm actually going to show you guys has a bit of a theme to it. I'm a big fan of 60s to 80s era type music, especially when it comes to funk, boogie, disco, all that type of stuff. I actually had a pretty good haul this month when it comes to those records, and I just wanted to show them off and talk a little bit about them. So the first record that I want to show off today is a really solid find for me. So this is called Akasaka Soul Funk. This is a collection of Japanese funk going into city pop era, but not quite there yet. It is a 1 LP production. It has a total of 10 songs on it, and I just can really highly recommend it if you're into that type of Japanese style jazz, right? So this is a compilation record, so all of the tracks on here are by different artists, and what is really cool about this record is that here on the back it actually gives you some kind of lore, if you want to call it that. So they basically go into where every song is coming from which album, which production company, who wrote the songs, mastered the songs, and it even gives you a little bit of lore about this time of music in Japan, right? How it came to be, and how it was influenced by Japanese culture, even though it was a very American sound, right? And I think that is just so cool that it actually gives you like a little bit of history, right? Because I've always been super big about just music history in general, right? Where certain styles came from, where they went, how they like fused with different cultures and everything. So this one, like alone for that, is like super, super cool. I think this one cost me $30 if I'm not mistaken. This is a exclusive colored vinyl that you can't get anymore. I think there were only like 300 copies of it. I don't know if there is like a regular version of it, if it's still out there, I don't know. If this is something that you're interested in, you might have basically dig through like the internet to try to find it. But again, I really, really, really enjoy this record. One of my favorite songs on here is actually the very first one, which is Soul Lady by Miyako Hirota. It is a very like textbook kind of type song when it comes to like Japanese funk, right? Again, we're talking like pre-city pop era, right? But this is basically the type of genre that then city pop kind of merged out of, right? So yeah, I can just really highly recommend this one. If you manage to try to get a hold of it, again, this is a special limited edition that I have. I don't know how broadly available they are, if there is like a normal version of it, right? So for the next record, we're actually gonna stay on theme, on track with our like funk disco theme, but we're gonna advance a little bit when it comes to like eras, right? So the last one I showed you was like 1968 or something to like 1977. This is actually starting just in the 70s, and this is also a really cool record right here. This is French disco boogie sounds. I don't know if I can actually show you the cover, but I'm just gonna do it. I think it's not too bad, right? So this is, like the name says, a French production, right? This is actually a 2 LP release. When I shop for vinyl, I usually look for like, how do I get the most bang for my buck, right? And I really enjoy like double LP releases, even if they're sometimes like $40 or something, but when you can get them on like a sale for like 30 or even lower than that, they're like a really good catch, right? So this is another compilation album that goes from like the mid 70s to the mid 80s. So the sound on here is actually like a little bit more advanced, right? It's not just pure like funk anymore. It goes into a more like disco type style, especially when you consider like the early 80s when like synth pop came onto the scene. There are some tracks on here that are like very fusion based, right? And one of my favorite tracks on here is definitely Lady Jones by Overdrive. It is on the side A of the first LP. It is a very like Euro-inspired boogie type sound. Again, you can really tell like the French or overall European influences on the sound. But again, being from Europe, being from Germany, it is something that I'm born in '89. It is still something like that I heard in like my like early youth days, right? So it's actually giving me like a little bit of nostalgia here, right? So like I said, this is a 2 LP release, and there are only 10 tracks on here, even though it is 2 LPs, but all of them are like at least 5 minutes long. So again, this is why you have like only 10 tracks on here, right? I mean, it's also really cool about this, all the records, right? If you're into music production, be it like professionally, semi-professionally, or just like as a hobby for yourself, these are just so sick to sample from, right? Especially the Japanese one that I just showed you, but also this one. There are some solid like bass lines, drum lines, even like vocal lines that you can just chop up and put on like a really sick beat. I just love the records for like that purpose alone. But yeah, I don't really know anymore what I paid for this one. I think I got all of them, the entire haul discounted, because I think they had like some sort of sale going on or some, I don't know really. But this is a more broadly available record. This is not a like limited edition or special print or whatever. So you can basically get this like probably everywhere. Again, I'm from Europe. I don't know if you can get them like outside of Europe as easily. But yeah, this is a like really solid one. So with the next record, we're actually going to be staying in that like 70s to 80s era type music. And this is kind of a hear me out, not because of the type of music, but because of what the record is actually called. So let me introduce you to Horse Meat Disco. Listen, I don't know what is called that. It is a wild title for a release, right? But there are some bangers on here. So this is a 2 LP release of Brazilian boogie and disco from the 70s and 80s era. It is a compilation album and it has 16 tracks. What I really like about this one is you can actually like really tell the like Latin inspired influences they bring into that like classic disco and boogie sound. The drum lines are just way more pronounced, right, that you would find in a like classic disco release, if you want to call it that. And I think it gives this like very distinct type feel when you listen to like basically every song on here, right? I would tell you my favorite track if I were able to pronounce any of these, because this is like all Portuguese, right? But all of the tracks are on the like shorter side, at least for that era of music, right? You have a lot of like 3-minute and 4-minute songs on here. That's why the title count is a little bit higher than for the other releases. I mean, if you want to get people to dance, like this is something that you want to put on, right? Because this will definitely get you in the mood. Again, like the Latin influences on that like classic boogie and disco style are so sick. Like if you need a solid drum line, a solid bass line to sample for any production, like this is the one right here. What shocks me is that this is a volume 1. I haven't found the volume 2 yet. But again, being called Horse Meat Disco, it's wild, man. It is so wild. So with the next one, we're actually gonna be staying in that 80s era of music, where synthpop is slowly starting to come in, right? So we started with the classic funk that transitioned into like boogie and disco, and now synthesizers are actually coming slowly onto the scene. It is an era where actual brass instruments and musicians who played brass instruments kind of started fearing for their existence, because now all these like synthetic instruments were being produced, right? You could just get a synthesizer and basically tune it to sound like a saxophone, to make it sound like a trumpet. And probably just to save costs to hire those musicians, those synths became like a very stable instrument or like sound that people were going for in the productions, right? And it felt like there was this like war going between those who still wanted to do it like the analog manual way, right? And then those who were like seeing the future and wanted to go the like synthetic, like digital route, right? And I think the next one is a very solid like fusion of both of those parties. So this one is called Doing It in Lagos. This is a very hefty boy. This is a 3 LP release, and it also has a single in there of only Nigerian 80s music. This is, I would argue, probably one of the coolest pieces in my collection. It is not like a super special limited edition or like whatever, right? Again, it is a basic standard print. But this one, from like a music history perspective alone, is just, it's so cool. Like, it is so cool. Again, it is boogie, it is pop, it is disco, but it's only 80s Nigerian music. It just changes the whole feel, right? And again, you have basically a bunch of different types of music on here and a lot of fusion, and it is so fire. Like, it is so fire. Some of my favorite songs on here from side C is Danny Ophia and the Fricks Funk With Me, which is a very classic type of funk sound that you will get in like the late 60s, early 70s. But again, it gives you like a little bit more of it like African feel or African influence to it. And it is so fire. Like, also Don't Stop That Music by Sony Enang is a really, really solid track on here. Mike Umo, Shake Your Body is a super, super solid release. If you're in any chance interested in like cultural music history, right? This is the one I can just highly, highly recommend you. It is such a like solid piece in a collection, and I think I got it for like $40. And again, this is 3 LPs and a single. Like, this one has 20 songs on here. Like, for $40 on vinyl, that is like insane. And again, I could imagine like sampling this would be so much fun. Like, there is so much fire on here. So I already said that Horse Meat Disco was kind of a hear me out, right? But again, just for the title of the record. So the next one is an actual hear me out. It is technically still funk, right? And I love me some funk, and again, I'm really open to music and experience new music. And when I found this record, I was like, okay, let me listen to it first before I get it. And I listened to it not expecting much, and I was like, man, this is fire. This is actual fire. So let me introduce you to Country Funk Volume 3. There is a Volume 1 and 2 out there somewhere. I couldn't find them. I don't know. But man, even if you're not a country fan, right, and you're just in it for the funk, this is still a very, very solid release. So this is another 2 LP release with a total of 17 tracks. It is a compilation album of country style funk from like the 70s into the 80s, of course, all from America, right? Now, I don't know if you can find something on there that is like sample worthy, if I want to call it that, but just to listen to it, it is like a really, really fun record. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have expected to enjoy it as much as I do. Like, one song I really, really enjoy on here is Rhythm and Blues by Jerry Reed. I wasn't really familiar with like any of the artists that are on here, right? Except for Dolly Parton. And yes, Dolly Parton is on here with 1 track, okay? But again, I was really, really surprised by how much I liked the stuff that was on here, right? I don't think it is a limited release. Again, I think it is a broadly more available vinyl. But yeah, if you're in the market for like some milder country that is not like super like cowboy inspired, this is maybe one that you should look for. So with the last pickup of the haul, we're actually going a little bit off theme here. this next record wasn't something that fit into the whole theme, but I still wanted to show it off. I still wanted to talk about it, just because I really like it. And this is matching to the content that I do here on my channel, Lisa's album Alterego. So if you're not familiar with Lisa, she is part of the K-pop girl group Blackpink, who really started together with BTS this whole like international K-pop like sensation, right? So this is also a 1 LP release with a total of 11 tracks. My favorite on here by far is When I'm With You featuring Tyler. If you're not familiar with Tyler, she is a South African artist that is just really popular right now. And putting those two ladies together has been like insane. I really enjoy the album. It is very like hip hop heavy. How the kids say it, very girl boss type like. Did I say that correctly? I hope I said that correctly. And I mean, you gotta have to be into that, right? If you want to enjoy this one. But again, for the type of music that I like and just for my collection overall, it just fits in really well. And for like a K-pop or quote unquote K-pop release, it was actually like quite affordable. I think I paid $35 for it, compared to like other K-pop albums that I have like in my collection, like over here, right? I paid like $60 for some of those. I hadn't like even shipped from Denmark, I think, because they weren't really available like anywhere in my location here, right? But yeah, this actually has been my haul for the month. Again, the funk haul that I just put over here, and then Lisa's album just as a complimentary album, right? So yeah guys, like I said, this was my haul for the month. I hope you had fun with this show. Again, I just want to share my love for music and share the music that I love, and just hope that someone will find something that they're gonna like with this one. Also let me know in the comments if you picked something up this month, what your haul was for the month, what you liked on there, why you got it. Let's just talk about it, right? So yeah, I think I'm gonna drop new episodes of this every last day of the month. If by any chance I actually didn't get any new vinyl that month, I will probably just go through like some pieces that I have in my collection. I have a lot of like limited releases and like special like vinyl colored prints. So I would just go through some of these and talk about them, right? So yeah guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here. If you like the video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like the vibe over here. I would really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys on the next one, right? Bye.